All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all the honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors and respect to the elders and to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to all Akim that are preaching and teaching this word with 100% truth and sincerity. And unto the men, women, and children that are listening and learning. And unto the Bayath of Dawadah, the elect house of David that is scattered abroad, I give you my utmost and sincere salutations. Sunday afternoon camp, Lord willing, be edifying, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So we're going to start off with the book of Mark. This is going to be Mark chapter 3, verse 24. And it says, "And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand." Okay, so, there's been talks of civil war with the whole thing with, the Biden administration and Texas. And you have 700,000 truckers that are supporting Texas in their border crisis, along with Florida supporting them, and 25 other states. Okay. Now, you got like I said, you got other, you got the different states where a lot of these American people, they're complaining about the migrants being a problem. Okay, you like other states like Illinois, California, oh gosh, what was it? Illinois, New York, Florida, and of course Texas, and there's a few others. I know Illinois is one of them, but I can't remember the others. But they're saying they're having a major influx of these migrants. Okay, and, since Texas isn't going along with the whole Biden administration, keeping the borders open and allowing people to come in here, Texas, they're going to start retaliating. They already sent them. They already have sent the National Guard down there. To deal with it. So civil war. Thus saith the Bible, and civil war is coming. It's a lot sooner. It's coming a lot faster than we all anticipated. Okay. This is the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble, coined by Elder Apostle Tahar from GMS. So, so this battle between the haves and the have-nots, okay, the so on and so forth, that's going to lead up to the MOTB, okay. So let me read this one more time. Mark chapter 3, verse 24. And it says, "And if a kingdom be divided against itself, the kingdom cannot stand." 25, "And if a house be divided against itself, that cannot stand." A house, talking about the people in the society, like family, friends, and all that. Like, excuse me, but so if you have, so even people, the people, like I said, families, friends, acquaintances, and loved ones and such, because of, the, what's going on in the society, life is becoming harder. It's becoming more stressful. People are starting to go into that mode of, that fuck you mode. Okay? Everyone's pretty much out for themselves now at this point, Nobody can trust nobody. Nobody feels comfortable with anybody. Okay? People see each other as a stepping stone to get what they want, or they'll see someone as, whatever. Okay? Nobody here in America is on one accord. They're all, it's picking a side, man. And the people who put their faith and trust in the system, they're going to go down with it. verse 27. And it says, verse 26. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand but hath an end. So even these Edomites, these so-called white people, are turning on each other. Okay? Okay? and it's so Esau's own people are turning against him. Okay, they're tired of the bullshit. They're tired of these unrighteous decrees. They're tired, they're just tired of the corrupt rule. Okay? Like I said, there is no understanding within him. Talking about the Edomites. Okay? These are people that have no understanding. They have no reasoning, no proper counsel. Okay? They're void of any understanding. They're wicked, they're twisted, they're untrustworthy. These are people you cannot deal with, okay? Like the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24, the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. And he covered the face of the judges thereof. If not, who and where, and who, if not, where and who is he? Okay, and not only that, but roughly paraphrasing, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Right now, the whole world's in a state of mourning. Okay? Excuse me. And you got other countries like Argentina, Chile, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and a few others. They're all joining the BRICS. For what purpose? For not only to get rid of the American dollar, but to also turn on America and get her out of the way. Because she's been nothing but a problem. America has been nothing but a problem. Okay. This is going to be Jeremiah 28 and 8. And it says, the prophets that have been before me, not and before thee of old, prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. Okay? So, prophets of old, from back then all the way up till now, have prophesied against great kingdoms. We spoke out against all tyranny, corruption, unrighteousness. And bringing out this truth is the ultimate weapon against these heathen nations, just the wicked in general. And speaking the truth has always brought forth the downfall of all these other nations, their empires, their kingdoms. And America is no different. It is no different. Get Isaiah 43. Isaiah 43. And 1. And it says, but now thus saith the Lord that created thee, O Jacob, and he that formed thee, O Israel, fear not, for I have redeemed thee, I have called thee by thy name, thou art mine. Verse 2, when thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee, and through the rivers they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burnt, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. Okay? Excuse me. So, the storms of life, this is not meant to be a comfortable ride. We have to go through this fire in order to be perfected and come out on the other side, worthy. Isaiah 33 and 6. Thy wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and the strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure, okay? So, everything that comes out of this book right here is what's going to keep your mind stable in the times to come, because it's only going to get harder, okay? As you can see, there's more earthquakes in diverse places, floods, okay? fearful sights, These are all signs that the Lord is performing everything that is according to this book, His word should not return back unto him void, okay? Which means that his words are not empty. They're going to come with something. Okay, going back to Jeremiah 17 and 5. Jeremiah 17 and 5. And it says, Thus saith the Lord, Cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departeth from the Lord. Okay? So everybody's talking about wanting Trump back in office, like Trump is the one that's going to save America. Okay, Trump is nothing. Yeah, sure, he's a wild card, but I was watching a short clip from one of the GMS elders, Amawang Gabar. He put up a video where this looked like an Edomite dude, but he says, even Trump had said it, that, that we would have a perfect tracking system, okay? First, it's going to start with these illegals, and then it's going to move on to the Americans. So, Trump might be the one who's going to bring forth this whole agenda if he gets reelected. But, regardless of who is going to be the next president, just hurry up and bring it. Okay? Just hurry up and bring it. Verse 6. For he shall be like the heath in the desert, and shall not see when good cometh, but shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness, in a salt land and not inhabited. Okay? So he's just going to be like a barren wasteland. He's going to be void of understanding, full of... he's going to be completely ignorant of what's really going on, and just like a barren wasteland, nothing grows here. No fruit, no vegetables, no land. So he will be just void of, like I said, void of understanding, not knowing the true knowledge of what's going on here according to Scripture and secular history. Okay. And that's the majority of this world, man. The path to truth is littered with the bodies of the ignorant, and the majority of the people out here are ignorant. Okay, they're gonna start bugging out soon. Verse 7: Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord, and whose hope the Lord is. Verse 8: For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river, and shall not see when heat cometh. But her leaf shall be green, and shall be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit. Okay? So, by putting your faith and trust in the Lord will sustain thee. He will keep you. Okay? You're going to continue to grow and keep getting better. You'll continue to progress. But if you put your faith and trust in man, which man is falling in this society, what do you really have? What do you really have? You have nothing. Okay, everything comes from the Lord. Verse 9. The heart is the... All right, never mind. Let's leave that alone. Okay, now I'm going to move to 2nd Esdras, chapter 15. I skipped it. 2nd Esdras chapter 15, starting at verse 1. It says, Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. In verse 2, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Okay? This book, this word is a sure thing. Okay? It's not a liar. Verse 3. Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee, that speak against thee. Verse 4. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Okay? In fact, let me get a... Slovakia, give me a second. Let me get Jeremiah again. This is going to be chapter 1. Before I continue down a second, let me go back to Jeremiah. Chapter 1, verse 17. Jeremiah 1 and 17. And it says, Thou therefore gird up thy loins, and arise and speak unto them that I command thee. But be not dismayed at their faces, lest I confound thee before them. Verse 18, For behold, I have made thee this day a defense city, and an iron pillar, and brazen walls against the whole land, against the kings of Judah, and against the princes thereof, against the priests thereof, and against the people of the land. 19, And they shall fight against thee, but they shall not prevail against thee, for I am with thee, saith the Lord, to deliver thee. Okay, so we've been given a job, we've been called to do this. Okay, this is the Lord telling us this is what you need to do. Okay, this is our job, and this is what we're supposed to do. Okay, we are to stand, as the roughly paraphrasing, the wicked fleeth when no man pursueth, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. Okay, so we are to stand out here, with our loins girded about us, stand out here as men and be not afraid of these people, even if they talk shit, say horrible things. Our job is to stand out here and prophesy, and the Lord is right here with us. When two or more are gathered, I am in the midst. Okay? So, even if you're a lone soldier in this, just have faith that Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is right there with you. He's not going to let he's not going to let none happen to you. Just put your faith and trust in him. Okay? Like I said, he made you a defensed city. Okay? The Lord is your shield and buckler. Okay? Fear the Lord. Don't fear man. Okay, I'm gonna go back to 2nd Esdras. But a lot of our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians, and you speckled birds, you all trust in Esau, Edom, all the way to the end. And it's going to be revealed to you that you've been putting your trust in the wrong person. You're gonna soon realize that this devil he's gonna show you just how much he really hates you. You're gonna see it. In fact, let's see here. Salakia. Verse 20. Okay, this is second. Before I get back to the 15th chapter, this is 2nd Esdras, chapter 2, verse 24, and it says, "What shall I do? Dang it! What shall I do unto thee, O Jacob? Thou, Judah, wouldest not obey me. I will turn me to other nations, and unto those will I give my name, that they may keep my statutes." 25. "Seeing ye have forsaken me, I will forsake you also. When ye desire me to be gracious unto you, I shall have no mercy upon you." Verse 26. "Whensoever ye shall call upon me, I will not hear you. For ye have defiled your hands with blood, and your feet are swift to commit manslaughter." Verse 27. "Ye have not as it were forsaken me, but your own selves, saith the Lord." Okay? So, because our hands, we got a lot of, us Israelites, especially the 2/3, they got a lot of blood on their hands. Okay? Their hands have committed iniquity. So, therefore, when they call upon the Lord will not hear them. Because they turn their backs on Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. So the Lord's not going to They forsook him, so he will forsake them. Okay? You know, ultimately the reason is just, the fact of why it says in the book of Ezekiel, the 2nd chapter, that the Lord says that we are impudent. The word impudent means, just that lack of someone who, lacks to someone who doesn't give their due respect unto another person, and we haven't been given our due respect to our Lord like we're supposed to. Okay, this is gonna be oh wait, that was sorry, that wasn't chapter 2, that was 2nd Esdras chapter 1, Salakia. Now going back to chapter 15. All right, this is 2nd Esdras chapter 15. Chapter 15, I'm going to start at verse 5, and it says, Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Okay? So the sword, talking about war and the military, okay? And all these ungodly men, these soldiers, and famine. All right? They're really... So what do you think's going to happen when you have all these people coming up in here? And they start, supposedly, they don't have enough. But we all know that the elites are hoarding everything for themselves, okay? But, like I said, when you see those empty shelves in them stores, as the scripture says, the sown places shall appear unsown, okay? You're going to have people looting and plundering. Not that they're not doing that already. Death, people dying from the sword, famine, illness, or however, and destruction. Verse 6, For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Verse 7, Therefore thus saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. Okay? The souls of the just complain continually to the Lord because we are constantly being vexed in this society, We have no peace of mind here. So the Lord's going to make the wicked pay for it. All right? Verse 9. And therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Verse 10, Behold, my people is led as flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. And you're right, the majority of our people are led as flock to the slaughter because they put their faith and trust in the system. Verse 11, But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues. As before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Verse 12, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the power shall bring upon it. Egypt, talking about America. And it shall mourn. Okay, because the Lord is going to take everything away from this place. He's going to leave it completely and utterly desolate, empty, void of any fruit, any type of growth or construction or building. Okay. Yes, okay. Let's see here. Now going to chapter 16 in the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, starting at verse 1. And it says, Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Verse 2, Gird up yourselves with clothes of sack in your hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. Okay, if you've been paying attention to what's going on, aside from the whole thing with the border crisis and all that. You know, war is brewing. World War III is brewing. Okay. A sound of battle is in the land. Okay. You have all these migrants coming in, all of them that could be Hamites, Ishmaelites, Moabites, but they're all men of capable fighting age. Okay. They're here to plunder, loot, plunder, and destroy. And like I said earlier, you women, you better take heed and humble yourselves, because whenever those sleeper cells, whenever they're active, when they become activated, like, you know, do not expect, expect the worst. And it says, bewail your children. Even your children are going to suffer. Yeah. And you keep saying, you know, why would you say, why would God do this to children? As the scriptures say, roughly paraphrasing, whoever perished being innocent. Nobody's innocent. Nobody. That's why reincarnation is a thing. Whatever you did in your past life, you have to pay for it in this one. Verse 3, a sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? Verse 4, a fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Verse 5, plagues are sent to you, and what is it he that may drive them away? 26 of 6, may any man drive away a hungry lion in the wood, or may anyone quench the fire in stubble when it hath begun to burn? May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer? The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? Okay? So in other words, who can stand before the judgment of the Lord? Nobody. Nobody can stop it. Nobody can prevent it. Nobody can postpone it. Okay? Everything's going to happen in its appointed time. So, verse 9, a fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? Verse 10, he shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? Verse 11, the Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? Okay? So, there is nothing that you can do to stand up against the Lord and his judgment. Okay? Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is coming back to deliver a mighty ass whooping. Okay? Even the elect are going to go through the hell. But the elect were already preordained to make it. Okay? The 144,000 men, 12,000 men from each of the 12 tribes, and the multitude of men, women, and children that shall be saved through mercy. Saved by faith and mercy. Okay? Now going back to the 15th chapter, Ezra, 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 13. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting, and hail, and with a fearful constellation. Okay? Farmers, they won't be able to grow anything. And besides, China, I can't remember the percentage, but China has bought a rather high percentage of America's farmlands, as well as some lands in Africa and other places too. Okay? So a lot of these farmlands They're not even America's anymore. They're owned by another country now. Verse 14, woe to the world, and not just that, but when the destruction cometh with these explosions in war, yeah, there won't be no growing anything. Everything will just be dead. In verse 14 it says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. 15, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, with swords in their hands. Verse 6, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their own power. So people are going to start taking matters into their own hands. Okay? The so-called, the Biden administration wanted to keep the borders open. But Texas is saying hell no. And Texas is strongly considering becoming its own sovereignty, okay, to separate itself from America, because Texas doesn't want to have anything to do with the way things are being done here in America anymore. And a few other states are following suit. So, we know not the time nor day, but we can clearly see that prophecy is speaking loud and clear. Okay? So as the scriptures say, roughly prayer, make no tarrying to turn unto the Lord. Okay? Do not put it off from day to day. Keep seeking him every day, daily. Okay? And golly. Slocky, give me a second. Okay, so let me get I'm gonna get Ezekiel chapter 2. Let me Ezekiel chapter 2. Ezekiel chapter 2 verse 1, and it says, and he said unto me, son of man, stand up, stand upon thy feet, and I will speak unto thee. Verse 2, and the Spirit entered into me, and when he spake unto me, and set me upon my feet, that I heard him that spake unto me. Verse 3, and he said unto me, son of man, I send thee to the children of Israel, to a rebellious nation that hath rebelled against me. They and their fathers have transgressed against me, even to this very day. Verse 4, for they are impudent. Like I said, impudent, going back to that lack of respect, that due respect. For they are impudent children and stiff-hearted, and do send thee unto them, and thou shalt say unto them, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are a rebellious house, yet shall know that there hath been a prophet among them. So we are only sent to Israel, not to everybody. Okay, we are sent to prophesy not just the downfall of this kingdom, but to bid as many Israelites, sincere listeners and believers, who are willing to turn to the Lord and repent from their worldly ways. Okay. Yes, we prophesy against these other nations and these other heathens, but we're mainly here for Israel. Okay. The prophets are the mouthpiece of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and he is speaking to you, Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians, and the speckled bird, whose father's seed line goes back to the nation of Israel. He's speaking to you. Okay? So, to prophesy unto Israel and to give them warning from who? The Lord. Okay? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is not playing around. It's only going to be, and we're about to see it, Lord willing, to be soon. Okay, and it says here, verse 6, and thou, son of man, be not afraid of them, neither be afraid of their words, though briars and thorns be with thee, and thou doest dwell among scorpions. Be not afraid of their words, nor be dismayed at their looks, for they be a rebellious house. So, you know, even though the 2/3 are a rebellious house, and no matter what you say to them, they're not going to listen. And even if they mock and scoff you, you know, so what? We don't care, okay? Just know that, you know, we gave you the warning, but if you're not going to hearken and change your ways, then, you know, the blood's going to be upon your hands, not us. Because we gave you the warning, but you chose not to listen, so it's on you at that point. Verse 7, and thou shalt speak my words unto them, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are most rebellious. 8, but thou son of man, hear what I have to say unto thee. Be not thou rebellious like that rebellious house. Open thy mouth and eat that I give thee. And verse 9, when I looked, behold, a hand was sent unto me, and lo, a roll of a book was therein. Talking about the Bible, the scriptures. Okay? And verse 10, and he spread it before me, and it was written within and without, from front to back, and there was written therein lamentations and mourning and woe. So lamentations, despair, anguish, mourning, you know, crying, pain, fear, and woe. Another word for woe is destruction. Destruction, death, calamity. This is going to be Hebrews 1:1. This is going to be the book of Hebrews chapter 1, verse 1, and it says, the Most High, who at sundry times in a diverse manner spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets. Okay? Okay, he's used the men that he's chosen to speak his holy words. Okay, Moses, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Isaiah, and other prophets in this book. But it's all for the same purpose, to reach out to Israel. But Israel doesn't listen, man. They don't care to listen. That's why Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is not going to save all of Israel this time. He's only going to save a small portion. Now we're going to go to Second Peter chapter 1, starting at the top. Chapter 1, no. 2 Peter chapter 2, starting at verse 1, sorry. It says, but there were false prophets also among the people. False prophets among the people. Like these other Israelite groups that we know who they are. And also these so-called Christians, Catholics, and all these that teach about the prosperity doctrine, how that God loves everybody, and they call upon that false name, and they dance in those harlot houses, looking all crazy and weird when there's nothing. They just got demonic spirits on them. So it says, but there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privily shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that bought them, and bring upon themselves a swift destruction. So there are going to be some that depart from the faith, roughly paraphrasing, that are going to give unto doctrines of devils, leaning upon their own understanding, calling upon the wrong name. Okay, that's the Lord taking his spirit away from them. That's also part of the sifting process. Okay? So those people that turn away from this, it's an act of treason, basically, an act of betrayal. By turning your back on the Lord, what's all that's left for you? Death. Verse 2, and many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of. So those that fall out of this truth, they're going to speak evil of the people who speak of this truth. And they're going to speak of the truth as evil as well. Okay? Verse 3, and through covetousness shall they with feigned words make merchandise of you, whose judgment now of a long time lingereth not, and their damnation slumbereth not. So they're going to make merchandise of us, right? They make money off of this truth, and they make, they make a popularity, well, not a popularity contest, but like, they make fun of us, and they say things in their podcasts or broadcasts about how we're always prophesying this and that. Making fun of the Lord's law, statutes, and commandments. Just, talking shit and, mocking and scoffing the prophets, So all these Israelites that do that, they're going to get their just desserts for it. Okay, verse 4, for if the Most High spared not the angels at sin, but cast them down to hell and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment, and spared not the old world, but saved Noah, the eighth person a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly, and turned the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an ensample unto those that after shall live ungodly. Verse 7, and delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. Okay? So Sodom and Gomorrah was made an example of what's to come soon. Okay? So, and that chains of darkness is talking about being in this mortal flesh, these feeble bodies that were specifically designed to go off. Okay? And he spared not the old world, because he flooded the world before with water. Okay? Saved Noah and his wife and his sons and their wives. Okay? If that was an example of, what's going to happen when the world is completely polluted with wickedness, I don't know what is. And he delivered Lot, who was vexed with filthy conversation of the wicked. Okay? Just like how we're vexed with the filthy conversation here, as well as the abominable actions. Okay? This place is hell. Okay? And just like how Lot had to walk away, we're going to have to walk away too. And if our friends and family, if they want to dwell here, then you know what? There's nothing you can do for them. That's the Lord separating you from them. Okay? The Lord is showing you, like, look, I don't want them. I want you. I chose you. Okay? Verse 8, for the righteous man dwelling among them in seeing and hearing vexed his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds. And that's what we go through on a daily basis, whether it be at home, at work, or just out and about in the world. Verse 9, the Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptation, and to rest and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished. Verse 10, but chiefly them that walk after the flesh in the lust of uncleanness and despise government. Presumptuous are they, self-willed, they are not afraid to speak evil of dignities. Okay? Self-willed, leaning upon their own understanding, thinking that they're self-made, thinking they did it all by themselves, thinking that there is no God, they don't need God, they don't need the Most High, and all, people like that, they're going to get it. That's the best way to put it. They're going to get it. And righteously so. That's why judgment must first start at the house of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Okay, the Lord's going to clean up his house first, then he's going to go after these other nations. Okay, we, his precious, his chosen, are going to be the first ones to get it. Why? Because he was the one that gave us everything, law, statutes, and commandments, and the way to live. Yet we did not obey. So he's going to make us an example to the other heathen nations that don't want to listen or that don't obey the gospel, period. So while these heathen nations, while they mock and make fun of us, while we get our asses kicked, well, guess what? When they start getting their asses kicked, the righteous are going to laugh at them. So they're going to know exactly what it feels like. Even though the curses are being lifted slowly but surely, and they're being turned against these other nations, but we're still at the bottom of the barrel right now. Okay, I'm gonna get Sirach chapter 8. Excuse me. Sirach chapter 8. Sirach chapter 8, verse 1. It says, strive not with a mighty man, lest thou fall into his hands. Okay. Verse 2, be not at variance with a rich man, lest he overweigh thee. For gold hath destroyed many, and perverted the hearts of kings. Okay, so strive not with a mighty man. Okay. Don't get into it with these people, okay? Okay, we're to be separate for a reason. We are, we're not supposed to, get ourselves involved with other people's affairs, not get in other people's business, not try to stir up shit with anybody, and not try to compete against any of these people anyway. Because like I said, for gold, riches, hath destroyed many and perverted the hearts of kings. And that's what money does, being rich. Because, the love of money is the root of all evil, okay? Having all that money and wealth, it can pervert your mind. It can make you make the wrong decisions, okay? Shit. Get back there. Verse 3, and it says, strive not with a man that is full of tongue, and heap not wood upon his fire. So basically a man that does nothing but talk. With those type of individuals, there's no saying. It's funny as it is, but it's true. And it says, playing chess with an idiot. Playing chess with an idiot is like, God. Okay, hold on. Playing chess with an idiot is like playing chess with a pigeon. No matter how good you are, the pigeon is just gonna shit on the board and strut around like it won anyway. I think that's how it goes. No, sorry. Arguing with an idiot is like playing chess with a pigeon. Okay, no matter how good you are, the pigeon is just gonna shit on the board and strut around like it won anyway. So there you go. Salakia. But that saying is true. Arguing with these people, knowing that you're not gonna get anywhere with them, it's pointless. Okay, so what can you do? All you can do is just get the word out, and if they don't want to listen, just tell them, okay, look, if you don't want to listen, then hey, you don't have to listen to me. You can just go on about your business, because I'm not going to listen to you and your own vain opinions. In verse 4, it says, just not with a rude man, lest thy ancestors be disgraced. Verse 5, reproach not a man that turneth from sin, but remember that we are all worthy of punishment. Once again, whoever perished being innocent, we are all worthy of the punishment. We've all went off. Okay? We've all done wrong in the sight of the Lord. All of us. The heathen nations, but mainly the Israelites. Verse 6. Dishonor not a man in his old age, for even some of us wax old. Okay? So don't shame an elder, okay? For even some of us wax old. Some of us wax old, some of us don't even have the mainly it's mercy from Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai that a lot of people make it to old age. Some of us don't even make it to old age. Some of us die young. Okay? Verse 7, rejoice not over thy greatest enemy being dead, but remember that we die all. Okay? So, don't don't rejoice over someone that you hate now that they've fallen, because remember, you die just like that person does, and someone's going to rejoice over your fall. Okay, verse 8, despise not the discourse of the wise. but acquaint thyself with their proverbs. For of them thou shalt learn instruction on how to serve great men with ease. Verse 9. Miss not the discourse of the elders, for they also learned of their fathers, and of them thou shalt learn understanding to give answer as need requireth. Okay? So, there's a reason why elders have experience and wisdom, so they could pass it on down to you, and you could learn from it. And then you could pass it down on the generation that comes after you. Verse 10. Kindle not the coals of a sinner, lest thou be burnt with the flame of his fire. Okay? So in other words, kindle not their coals, lest I be burnt with his fire, with the flames of fire. Don't be a troll. Don't piss people off. Okay? Just learn to mind your own business. Don't aggravate people. Verse 11, rise not up in anger at the presence of an injurious person, lest he lie in wait to entrap thee in thy words. Okay? So, injurious meaning someone who causes problems for other people. Okay? So, that's why, you got to learn to, that's why you have to learn to really watch and be careful how you deal with people, because these people out here, they can get you in more ways than one. Okay, as my dad always said, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Okay, there's that's another way of saying there's more than one way to fuck somebody over, and that's the truth. You don't have to kick someone's ass. You can always get someone fired from their job by talking to their boss. And there's so many other ways you can cause problems for people. Okay? So, even though we're on the brink of, a civil, excuse me, we're on the brink of a civil war here in America. You have to be very careful of how you're gonna walk about people now, because you don't know what state of mind people are gonna be in nowadays. You just don't know. That's why the scriptures say a soft answer turneth away wrath. You got to speak, of course, not just clearly and reasonably, but also speak in a way that's not going to come off as being, I guess in a lot of people's ways it comes off being offensive, but sometimes it can't be helped, because you got to call people on their bullshit at times, and that's just the truth. And the truth does hurt, and there's nothing that can be done about that. Okay, yeah, that's all I had for this. But aside from all that, being on the brink of an outbreak in war, civil war, and world war, and of course, the third woe. People are going to be more prone to anger, more short-tempered, short-fused. That's why in times like this, more and more people get impatient, and that's when you're going to have to really watch yourself, because people nowadays, they're going to have that spirit on them. You got to be careful. Before you leave your house, pray. When you wake up in the morning, pray. And, and I'm speaking to myself first and foremost. And when you go to bed at night, pray. Because people are going to get more and more desperate. Okay? I hope that this was edifying, and I apologize if it seemed like I was all over the place with scripts, but it's just that being in a time of war, you really got to watch yourself with how people are going to react, because whether it be at home or in the world or at your job, you just don't know. Okay? You gotta always keep these scripts in mind so that way you'll be prepared. Okay? And with that, I'd like to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors and respect to the elders and to the apostles of the great millstone. Peace and blessing to all Akim that are preaching and teaching this word with 100% truth and sincerity, and unto the men, women, and children that are listening and learning, and unto the Ba'ath Dabadah, the elect house of David that is scattered abroad, I give you my utmost and sincere salutations. So remember that old saying, arguing with an idiot is like playing chess. Arguing with an idiot is like playing chess with a pigeon. No matter how good you are, the pigeon is just gonna shit on the board and strut around like it won anyway. So, the best thing to do with these people is just let them do them, and don't let people get under your skin. Okay? And with that, Shalom, Barakatham.